I am with my cousin. She's actually right there, but she doesn't want to be on camera. You guys have actually seen her on my channel before. I'm in China right now, and I took a 16-hour flight, guys. 16-hour flight to China. The reason it takes longer now is because there's an unfortunate thing going on in Ukraine right now, and so the airspace above Russia's closed. So because of the way the world is, it's a globe, the fastest way to go from America to China is over Canada, over Alaska, over Russia, and then down to China. But because of certain things, you can't go that path anymore. So what used to be a 13-hour, sometimes 11-hour ride is now a 16-hour ride. The one thing that made the ride bearable was, I wouldn't even call him a toddler. He's still a baby. He's like 10 months. Before the plane even took off, while we were waiting, the toddler came over. Baby, not toddler. Basically what was happening was the grandpa had his fingers out like this, and the baby was grasping at the fingers and trying to walk. And it was really cute, and the baby was smiling, having so much fun, and baby smiled at me, wanted to show me his attempts at walking. But I was actually more impressed with the grasping reflex. For those of you who don't know, humans are born with certain innate things. You don't have to learn it, just have it. It's genetically programmed into you. And one of the things is the grasping reflex. So basically, any baby will be able to grasp at something, usually a hand or an arm or usually your finger, because their hands are so small, and the grasp is so tight and strong that you can pull the baby up completely. It supports the baby's body weight completely. That's how strong the grasping reflex is. To entertain the baby the whole time, the grandpa, the mom, and the dad are taking turns basically putting their fingers out, having the baby grasp, almost puppeting the baby so the baby can sort of kind of walk, right? He's not ready to walk yet at 10 months, but he's kind of being puppeted and he's building up his fascia and his muscles. It was so cute. I learned about the grasping reflex since high school, and I've never experienced it because unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your interpretation, people my age aren't having kids as soon as before, right? Any other age in society history, people my age would have like 3 kids, but a lot of people my age aren't having kids. So I was like, this is my perfect opportunity. I'm bonding with this baby and the family of the baby. 16 hours of the flight, we're getting each other through it. So eventually I asked the mom and the dad, I'm like, can I feel this grasping reflex? I've heard about this since high school. I really want to feel what it's like. They're like, sure, why not? So I put a finger out. Of course, the baby wants to grab my finger, and he grasps my finger. I've heard this many times. A lot of parents say that first time your kid grasps your finger, it's like a life-changing experience. I sort of understand it now. I'm like, if this were my kid and I felt it, back in the day, you would have felt that moment of, it's just one of those transcendent moments, for lack of a better word. It wasn't like Superman strength, of course, it's a baby, right? But it was much tighter, much harder, and much more resilient than I think anyone would have expected. Like, just moving my hand, the baby just kept grasping on. It was like this, and I was like, wow, I'm experiencing the grasping reflex for the first time. What is the point of this talk, guys? It's not just about psychology, although I think that's really interesting. The point of this talk is, how do you feel inspired, guys? Think about the things that maybe part of adulting you would have been able to do by now in any other age in history. How can you go and maybe experience some of it? Some of it. I'm not going to just go be a dad for the sake of being a dad, but I got to experience this life-changing grasping reflex. The strength of a little baby, it's amazing. I don't know how to describe it. It was life-changing to feel it finally. I've heard about this since high school. Maybe another way to explain this is, think about the rituals, think about the events that would have happened in any other time in society for a person in his or her growth. How can you go and do those things? Maybe society, your education, whatever, it's not happening naturally, those rituals, those practices, those events, but maybe you can go make some of that happen. Maybe you have to be more proactive. What are some things maybe you could partially do? It's better than not doing at all. That's what we have to find. There's things you're doing and you should do, right? There's things you can't do and it's a waste of time to try to do, but then there's a middle ground. What are some things that maybe you can't do completely, but you can partially do, or do almost all the way? Probably will benefit you. I hope you guys take this to heart. We all need to feel what it's like to have an infant grasp you, depend on you completely, right? That's like a growth moment in life. We are formulating little ways, little steps, micro steps to how we can break out of certain funks that I think a lot of us feel in society. So that's my talk for today. 你想上镜吗?
Hello.
Oh, there. By the way, she's getting married.
Get married.
Do you know what that means?
快要结婚了.
Yeah, she's getting married. She's getting married. So, everyone that wanted to marry her, you're out of luck. You're out of luck.